That's so crazy. If you think of edgy design, you probably won't be able to avoid Tesla's Cybertruck. However, edgy design has been around for way longer than this. But no matter how many cars have been there before, the Cybertruck has become a trademark name for edgy design. What prompted me to design a CyberVan of my own is less due to the Cybertruck itself, but more because common van design approaches peak singularity, where seemingly you are only allowed to change the front. Even CyberVan concepts tend to gravitate backwards towards a traditional Ford Transit look. It's not about what is the right design, it's about diversity. And it's about what I find is missing in the current palette of van. And it's also about disregarding all pedestrian safety measures and wind tunnel tests for just now. So my idea is this: a really nice suspension. I really like that suspension design, as it has a purpose beyond just looking dope. While thinking of how to design this CyberVan, I was already following the notes I have made for it becoming a cyber camper van in the future, which were simply things that I was missing while looking for a suitable vehicle in Australia in order to cross the almighty outback, which I have done with a 4x4 ute, but this is a story for another time. The suspension was designed like that because I wanted it to be easily modified for off-road use. I have given the suspension a titanium material, and the springs I wanted to be red in order to fit the overall color scheme. I wanted it to have a large unobstructed area between the axles, capable of accommodating a wide variety of interior configurations, pushing the space to 5.25 meters. I envisioned an electric setup which would provide extra storage, so it eliminates the space typically taken up by a combustion engine. This space could be then allocated to essentials like drinking water, wastewater, or anything else that usually competes for room. The EV setup would not only by default integrate the battery into the floor, it would also eliminate the need for a traditional double battery setup. You will notice two things. One is that it has a pretty high frontal area, and the front axle is also way up in front. That is simply because I find it pretty dope and reminds me of Batman's Tumbler. These are the rims I have planned at the beginning, which needed to change in the end and to fit the overall feel. Note I kept the front one smaller than the back, more to that later. Overall, I wanted the driver to sit up high. I wanted people up to 2 meters tall to be able to stand inside. It was very important for me to keep all planes absolutely flat, and I know it doesn't sound that tricky, but trust me, it actually is to design it like this. That said, creating nice and flat planes is one thing, keeping them clean is the other. For instance, every typical sliding door would have destroyed the look, hence I went for doors that they extract themselves from the body first before they move either way. Not only does it preserve the body from getting any extra details, and just to mention two things of the many, the front one additionally serves as a step to exit the car, and the fact that the rear door goes back, we are preserving a whole panel not to be obstructed by an open door, leaving creative space for an extra kitchen, for example, or whatever else me, you, the camper van, or the A-team might see necessary. Speaking of Mr. T, the rear end I couldn't figure out at all at the beginning. Felt like not followed through, and not to get too philosophical, but in my opinion it makes a world of a difference when everything is attempted to be coherent. Otherwise, effort you put in the rest of the design just takes the hit. And yes, I was inspired by the A-team truck. The rear design like this solved the problem that if you would be off-road, you would not be bumping into something in the rear that quickly. It also does give a lot of space for storage, which could accommodate at least 250 liters, which is 66 gallons. Enough for 2 people for 1 week in the outback to drink, cook and shower. It has windows all over, all flat, just as an alternative worldview. The rims, the equivalent to shoes for other people, reminded me of a horse carriage, to be honest, and I changed them to something with more surface area in order to fit the rest of the design. However, it still felt too round, and as mentioned before, I think that a not consequently thought through feature can destroy the rest, so it got some edgy rims, reflecting the planes of the body in a better way. The four-wheel steering looks like this. When turned the full 35 degrees, it aligns nicely with the front area here, resulting in a turning circle of just 8.5 meters. The turning circle of a Tesla Cybertruck, which also has four-wheel steering, is 12 meters. So with 8.5 meters or 27 feet, that is 30% tighter than even Tesla Cybertruck can deliver, considering the Tesla Cybertruck is significantly smaller. Here, compared to a Model X, it resides in the class of larger vans like the Nissan NV400. And even what feels like a sacrifice in the back, it is really not, and has various advantages, because still we have a bigger unobstructed area plus the extra storage underneath the driver. I know it does not look like it at first, but it is quite a bumblebee. That is a 687 by 217 body with a wide stand of 245 meters. In feet, that is 22 by 7 and then standing 8 feet wide. 33-inch wheels in the front and 35s in the rear. And that's it. I will just let it spin here for a moment so you can have a better look how the lights are integrated and so on. And yeah, that's about it. There's also a shorter show-off only version, which I really enjoyed making. I will link this somewhere here. Thanks for watching. See you next time.